Recently, a new spiritual successor to Chibi-Robo was announced. It's called KoRobo, and so far it looks amazing! Gameplay-wise, it looks like a direct continuation of what was established with the core Chibi-Robo titles. And design-wise, our little guy here seems great. It's really interesting to see how he parallels Chibi's moveset. Even the story seems to be taking a lot from Chibi-Robo based off the plot synopsis. It really seems like the developers have a strong grasp on what makes Chibi-Robo tick, for lack of a better word. So it's not surprising to learn that they worked on the original Chibi-Robo back in the day, and now these guys are back in gear with a new team name, Tiny Wonder Studios. And while this all is really exciting, it does give me a slight bit of worry in the back of my mind. You see, amazingly, this isn't the only Chibi-Robo inspired game being developed right now. Dude, us little robot guy fans are eating good lately. I've actually talked about that other game on the channel here. It's called Misk: A Tiny Tale. And you know, if it got me to actually upload a video, that means it's superb. Everything about this game just gives me such a wholesome homemade vibe. All the robot designs look like something you'd make in arts and crafts. The music itself is really charming. The gameplay oddly reminds me of old Pangeasoft platformers, so you know I'm excited. And even the dev team themselves gives this down-to-earth, scrappy vibe about them. This here is Tinyware Games, and Misk is their first title. It's really impressive to see such a fun game with amazing visuals from such a small core team. And honestly, it worries me a little that KoRobo might take a bit of that limelight away. At face value, these games seem very similar. Even the names of the developers are close, being Tinyware and Tiny Wonder respectively. There's this pessimistic side of me that's worrying that these similarities will end up harming Misk's chance to really take off as its own game. But then the realistic side of me takes back over, and I remember that the more you look at them, the more differences you'll notice. KoRobo takes a lot of gameplay notes from Chibi-Robo, while Misk is much more of a platformer collectathon. If anything, this game is more in line with Mario than Chibi-Robo if you look at gameplay alone. And unlike KoRobo, Misk's story is a completely different take from the typical helper robot saves the family idea that Chibi-Robo set. This one seemingly being more about acceptance and self-identity.
A small community prospered in this garden village for a long time. Home it was to them. But that's the thing about home. It can warp your view of the world around you. It's exactly what began to trouble Bag Boy. See, Bag Boy wasn't like the others in the village.
I guess the long point I'm trying to make here is that these games aren't competition, and I hope people won't see them that way. In a perfect world, KoRobo and Misk's success could be exactly what Nintendo needs to dust off the old Citrasoft lab. Or even better, the massive unrelenting success of both these games leads to a mass influx of little robot guy games, and then the whole world will understand my need for robot games! At face value, Ganon, you can't be scratching at the door, buddy boy. In a perfect world, KoRobo and Misk's success, buddy, you're attacking the door. I'm under siege as I'm recording here.